you know.
Yeah. It was really sad, though, that he didn't come in with Infinity, since I had the Bloody Marathon scrapbook that nobody got to sign.
You should take a picture of that so I can put it in there, because that is a really cool book.
Okay, I'll have to do that.
Anyway, so the whole Reach panel was kind of like a history of the whole process of making the game, and had a bunch of like concept art they showed us, and talked about different things that got cut from the game. Like the forklift used to actually be able to, lift things.
It lifted forks, in fact.
Well, it lifted the fork and whatever was on the fork, as they showed in that video where it flung the big monster guy.
I think flung was the wrong word. It catapulted.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah, it catapulted, definitely.
Yeah, that was neat, and I could see why they left it out, though. Personally, from the things they left out, I was more fancied with the enemy boarding. I thought that was a really neat concept piece for the hunters.
That would really help, because, I mean, hunters are a pain in the butt to kill now. They used to be kind of fun to play, and, I mean, arguably they were too easy to kill in Halo 1, but it was kind of fun.
It was just like, doing one of those, what the f*** they call it, with the matador. It's like bullfighting.
Oh, there.
Yeah. And, well, anyway, you could board the hunters, get on the backs, and plant grenades. It seemed really cool.
Yeah,
but that was just a concept that got scrapped, unfortunately. Anyway, as far as my opinion on the panel goes, I'm a fan of Bungie. Obviously, I love Bungie, and I do love Halo, of course. But even though a lot of the Reach stuff at that panel was somewhat new as far as behind the scenes goes, which I did appreciate, I think I would have been more in the mood for even a Bungie panel, and just talking about generally where they plan on going as a studio and how things are going. And I mean, I know it was a Reach panel, but it's like I personally didn't really walk away with too much except for the hunter boarding and the forklift, and that was about it for me. So,
well, I thought it was a decent panel. It did what they wanted it to do, which was not just talk about Reach, but talk about the whole process that went into actually designing it and bringing it to publication, which to me is more interesting than, here's a video of Reach.
Agreed.
Just play that. But I do understand what you're saying. And I would like to eventually maybe hear something along those lines as well, as, we're done with Halo, and
right.
So well known.
We are independent.
But it's more of a. I wanted to hear them address. We're done with the Halo series, and truth be told, we made some pretty good games before Halo, but Halo is what we're known for. So here's how we're going to get away from that stigma, and this is what we're doing now. I mean, obviously, they're not going to say this is what our top secret project is. But no, I can understand your complaints there. I would like to hear. I'd like to hear similar things. Though it was really cool to hear about the boat that got cut out of every single.
Poor Marcus and his boat. One of these days he'll get one in there. I think part that they had to talk about Reach and couldn't really talk about what they're doing now may even be some legal stuff, just because they haven't released Reach yet. I think we'll see a lot more.
I know that's legal stuff, but I'm not even saying for them to talk about their next project at all. I'm just saying, me, I go to Bungie.net. I've read enough Bungie. I mean, I've read enough Reach. I feel like I've played the game a million times. I've been spoiled everything, and I don't know.
That's the thing. I mean, more than half the people there were Halo fans, not necessarily Bungie fans. I mean, they say they're Bungie fans, but they've never played a game that's not a Halo game.
Yeah, and Reach is kind of their really big property that's coming out right now. So, of course, that's what they're going to talk about.
No, that's true. It was less of a complaint, more of something I would like in the future.
Oh, yes. No, and I'm right there with you. I hear something like that, too. Yeah, but that was pretty. What was really nice, though, is when we left, they gave everyone a signed Reach poster. And I thought that was really
was after
cool.
the next panel, actually.
That was actually the other panel.
Which was probably the one or two good things that came out of that panel. Which I guess we could probably segue to that one now. I think we've kind of covered.
Let's just mosey on over to 343 Industries / Bungie Meetup panel.
The 343 one, I kind of would like my time back. Although,
I would like it back completely.
Like Placid said, most people did actually get a cool signed poster.
I didn't get a
one.
poster.
I mean, we went because it said Bungie, and they were, there was not a great description about it. So, And even it was right after the regular Bungie and Reach panel, so we were kind of, like, okay, we'll follow these guys over there, see what's going on. But essentially what it came down to was the crowd doing stupid human tricks to get prizes, and that was not interesting at all.
Yeah, the show us your Halo tattoos, or, sing, what was it? Was that the one where they made people sing the Halo theme song?
And who has the worst phone? Hey, you get a Windows 7 phone. So that was...
Which had nothing to even do
with
anything.
Again, it was a 343 panel, not a Bungie panel. So that's...
But there wasn't even
they kind of took it over, though.
Yeah.
They took it over.
They said it was the Bungie meetup
anymore. Yeah, they actually changed the name on the panel and everything. Like, it wasn't 343. I don't know. Something went just wrong with that panel, and it was not good.
Part of it was that chick who was in charge of it.
It was all that marketing that one lady was trying to do.
She's like the Queen of Waypoint or something. I don't know what her official title is, but Queen of Waypoint
that's something telling everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, after that, what did we do?
Other than, the poster was cool, but we did actually, because Red vs. Blue is so, connected to Halo, they actually showed... I had seen it before, but everybody else had kind of not seen it. It was
I'd seen it before.
The big had you really? Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
Anyway, Plastic
I had
not seen it. It was basically the text fight. Where basically the whole episode is a joke about poor Griff getting hit in the cojones. But yeah, if you've seen that, it's kind of cool, and they did a really good job on it. So that was kind of interesting for them to see.
Yeah, that was a blast. I really enjoyed that. And that was probably one of the highlights for Saturday, for me at least. Seeing Tex moving the concrete barrier just so Griff lands on his nuts.
Poor Griff.
Poor Griff, indeed.
Anyway, so that was kind of that panel. So it was sort of lackluster, not exactly a highlight. And then actually we had a bit of a low point there. We had lunch in between, but...
but it didn't get much better after lunch, did it?
The lunch was the high point of that... little 3-section part, the 343 panel, and the Evolution of RPG panel, which I believe was Slayer's favorite part of PAX.
I forgot about that one. There was a reason I forgot about that one too.
Initially,
So actually, Slayer. Then would you like to sum up that panel?
Let me intro it before Slayer just completely vomits on it and gets it all out of his system. Initially, the panel was called, I believe, the Evolution of the RPG, and Slard and I didn't recognize anyone's name on the thing, but we figured, okay, this is PAX. They're probably going to start with D&D stuff and kind of work forward into video games, and this could be kind of interesting. However, when we got there, it was not to be. Slayer, if you would like to elaborate on that.
Well, it was... I fell asleep about 5 times. And there was no evolving, no evolution. Generally when something evolves, it turns into a butterfly or a butterfree or whatever. It turns into, a riot shoe. That's a cool kind of evolving. There was no evolution.
Did you just make a Pokemon reference there?
He did,
absolutely.
I believe, yes.
Oh, wow.
And there was
the panel was essentially 4 guys who had worked on D&D campaigns and things in the past. So if you were a hardcore D&D guy, you would have probably found something enjoyable about it. But essentially the panel was those 4 guys discussing what they had done, how it compared to how World of Warcraft works, and several of the other games that they worked on which no one else played, like Pirates of the Burning Crusade.
It was basically these old dudes lamenting. I feel like lamenting could be a good word used here.
Almost reminiscing and kind of... I don't know about lamenting, because they weren't like, video games are destroying D&D. They were just more discussing.
Well, they should have been lamenting. I was lamenting, I'll tell you what.
I think most people in that panel were.
There were these old guys just talking to each other, really, having a philosophical sort of brown-nosed flattery session on why World of Warcraft is similar to Dungeons & Dragons and why it isn't.
So in a nutshell, it was not a highlight for anyone.